Hello and welcome back to the Penthouse Bar for another episode of Tipsy Wednesday. I'm your host this evening, Thomas, and with me as usual, Björn
Greetings.
and Junior.
Hello.
So, how are we doing?
Lovely dovely.
Good. What the fuck?
One more time.
Lovely doubly.
That's a new one. Where did you come up with that?
I don't know. What do you think that even means?
Oh,
It means good, right?
Something with love and doves? I don't know.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure myself.
Yeah,
I'm doing great.
But you've seen Home Alone 2, right? He gets the two
Turkey
the two
doves.
turtle doves.
Yes,
So,
the turtle doves.
yeah, so probably something thereabouts. It's a good thing with the doves or dove.
I guess, unless you're Dove Company's PR team. But
Release the pits.
The product itself, I've. Are we even going into topic this early? It's not even a topic though. It's a callback. We did you remember we called out the company Dove for?
Yeah, we call them out.
We called them out. It was a big case. They were trying to support the body positivity and claimed that Brendan Fraser should have been a fat person for his fat role in The Whale. Regardless of the PR team's success of that or not, I've committed a sin. I've started
Because you
using...
wanted us to ban using Dove products. You were the one who suggested the three of us should not use Dove products.
Yes. However, I have committed a sin, and I have purchased a Dove soap. A Dove body wash shower soap.
Weak.
And it's, yeah, I'm fucking weak. And it, unfortunately, turns out it's a good fucking product. It makes my skin soft.
Yeah, well, I
makes
use
my hands soft.
I use
It's-
a Dove hand moisturizer, so I'm not one to judge.
You know, but that Dove body soap, it's like a body lotion for your entire body. That's
in the name body soap.
No, but it's not a body lotion. It's a shower soap, but it like makes your whole body soft. It's
I wouldn't know. I use Sunsilk with coconut.
Sunsilk, yeah, I use Sunsilk. What's it called? Hair
The shampoo
shampoo. Yeah,
and conditioner, perhaps. No.
yeah.
Yeah, I have the
But-
same, but I have it.
Sell
I
out.
have it for body as well.
Okay, yeah.
And
Maybe I'll try a
You don't
Sunsilk.
use Dove in any way, shape, or form.
Not that I know of.
Not that you know of.
Out of my rant about them being a bad PR move or something,
What?
or just
No, because I don't know. I actually don't know if I have any Dove.
Mm-hmm. So you might be a sellout, you just don't know it.
Maybe, but
regardless.
not that I know of, right? So
Well, I only have the one Dove product as well, and it's the hand lotion.
Well, I guess you can find sins committed by all of the soap companies in one way or another,
Yeah.
like animal testing for some, or some. I'm not too well researched into this. I'm an ignorant consumer who just used the product for the end result.
But isn't it better to test it on animals than test it on humans? See if it's dangerous for humans.
Let's put this face cream on this person. Oh no, his face melted. Well, that's too bad.
Yeah, but don't pharmaceutical companies do that in America? They pay people to test out different drugs, or is that
drug
only in the movies?
test- I heard about such an interesting case about some medicine or something that they hired in. I don't know if it was in America or in Britain or something. It was something they injected some with a syringe. It was supposed to help for something, and they had like 10 test subjects, and it turns out that the dosages that they were testing were like absurdly high, and it was such an interesting case, and I watched it years back. I can't recall, but it's during the testing procedure, they were all in this like one room, and they all just continued to pump this substance into them as they all started getting symptoms of like different kind of symptoms, being nauseous, vomiting, spasms, and they just continued pumping this stuff into them. Well, I can't. I should find the name of this. Maybe I'll research it. I tend to catch myself watching this like interesting medical cases or interesting shit that happened throughout history and coverages upon those cases. It's like, this weird thing I never heard of turned out to be really interesting.
But it cannot be too interesting because you cannot remember it.
That's because he probably fell upon it unexpectedly.
Even better reason to remember it.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, well, so anyways, moving onwards to the topics. The fuck is ortolan or whatever? Björn?
Yeah.
What is this?
So, I was scrolling through Reddit, and
Of course you were.
there was this weird picture of this old ass picture from this family gathering. It looks like a photo that was taken during the 90s or something.
Good times. During the good times.
This family gathered around the dinner table. There's a wine bottle, and they're all hanging over their dinner plates with like napkins covering their heads and the plate of food. And it's like, what the fuck? This looks weird. It looks like the old grandma's trick of when you're cold, you should cover yourself with a napkin over a boiling pot
Boiled
of
water,
or
yeah,
something. Boiled
because
water.
the steam and everything will...
It looks like they're all gathered around the dinner table and they're all having a cold because they all have their napkins covering their heads and covering their dinner plate. But no, this is an old picture from France, a French family, eating something called, and I'm probably butchering the name, they're eating something called ortolan.
Ortolan. Don't they have these...
Yeah, I'm not trying to put a French accent on a word I've never heard of. Ortolan. Ortolan.
That was the dish they were eating with napkins on their heads?
I don't know if it's the name of the dish or the name of the ingredient in this dish.
Have you Googled this thing?
I know.
I think this.
I think I know what it is. Isn't it the duck liver or duck something?
No, but you're close, because this duck's liver is called foie gras or something, which is also a French dish ingredient that has been banned long time ago because of animal cruelty or something.
Yeah, because
that's literally force-fed ducks that has been force-fed so that their livers grow large, and then they eat the livers. That's basically foie gras. But this is something else. It's ortolan. It's the ortolan bird. So it's a dish with a bird in France. And this case is somewhat related to foie gras. And what does this tell you? What does this what are you thinking of thus far?
Stuffed duck.
Why the napkin on the head? That's my question.
Why the napkin? Yeah, interesting.
Is it some religious aspect or?
there's a few theories. One of them is that
Theory is actually no one knows.
yeah, because one of the theories is that this napkin makes the aromas concentrated of the dish you're eating, makes so that you're breathing in the aromas of the food. That's one theory. The other theory is that the diners covered themselves with napkins to hide their sin from God.
For
Because
eating
they are
duck,
committing
you know.
a sin.
Holy shit.
Yes. Because this bird, the ortolan bird, is like this. It's not a large, it's not duck, or it's not duck's liver, but it's a bird. It's a small bird. It's like this big. It's like a small canary bird, but it's native to France. They catch this bird when it migrates south for the winter. They catch this bird in nets, and then, here's the catch, they start force feeding it with grains, like wheat grains, so that it gets fat, plump, and juicy. And once it's fat enough after being force fed in captivity, they literally drown the bird in bourbon or some other they drown them in, it just says Armagnac liquor. So they drown the bird and then they let it marinate in this alcoholic liquor
With feathers on and everything.
with feathers on and
So
everything.
they basically they
And
just
then-
drown it alive.
And then they fry the whole bird. And then they pluck the feathers from it. And then they proceed to eat the whole bird.
Oh, fucking hell.
Beak and everything?
No, without the beak.
Without the beak, okay.
But with bones, with legs, and they just eat it whole in one bite. With intestines, as I said, bones and everything. And yeah, and it's supposed to be this delicacy. And it has in recent times been covered in shows like the Succession, Hannibal, and Billions. Because this dish has, since the 90s, been banned, outlawed in France. It's not legal to serve this dish. So it's an illegal sin they are committing. But this picture that I'm looking at is probably from the olden days when it was
When it
still
was done
considered
legally.
when it was legal and a delicacy. But now
It's probably still a delicacy, just not legal.
now it's maybe considered a delicacy, but it's illegal
In France or in the entire world.
because of literal animal cruelty, I guess. So yeah,
Ruining all the fun! Fucking hell!
Is it bad of me to say I think I'll have chicken for dinner tomorrow? For some reason, I
but-
really wanted some bird now.
Yeah, stuff it with some bourbon.
Yeah, no,
but
I'm not
even,
stuffing it with bourbon.
even so,
but I will
why
have chicken.
why does this thing have to be so?
Be so cruel?
Yeah, well, it
Well,
is
the bird is
literally
too
to make
small
the bird.
to be eaten as is, so you need to feed it to make it grow.
Yeah, that's the logic, and they feed it with wheat grains or something to make
No,
to
but
make
we,
it taste better.
we do the
and
same
then-
with chickens. We feed them called the thing that we call turbo chickens.
Here
those,
in Norway.
Those will grow from a small chick to a big, fat, plump chicken in 30 days or so. You could do that with the, what's the name of the bird again? Ortolan bird as well.
That's where I was ultimately trying to lead up to the conclusion. Isn't like that what we're already doing, but we're the only difference is that we're not killing our chickens
At
by
home.
drowning. We are killing them by I don't know, decapitation.
Yeah, but imagine though if that was the way you had to do your chicken as well. You have to buy the little chicken, you have to feed it for 30 days to make it grow, and then you kill it and make it at home.
Yeah, but that's basically mass production of food in a nutshell. But
Yeah. In
But-
a
but
farm, yeah, but not
animal-
at home.
animal welfare and animal cruelty aside for just a minute, do you even think you could eat like a tiny bird like that, and it's supposed to be eaten? It's so tiny you could eat it in one like mouthful. Would you even imagine doing that with bones, intestines, organs, everything? Like, what the fuck?
No, because because this is the weird thing for me. I get these weird pictures in my head that when you eat something with a lot of bones in it, the bones will poke the inside of your mouth in
Yes,
some way,
it's-
shape, or form.
It is described as crunchy. It's like, but it's not crunchy because it was fried. The meat was fried on a pan and it caramelized with the fat in the frying pan. No, it's crunchy because of the literal fucking bones. So that's just animal welfare aside. I just couldn't eat that just because it's a whole fucking bird served. It's like on equal gross level, like how they serve. How do you know the fucking eggs that have partially developed into embryos, fetuses?
I have heard of this. I know
Yes.
they do it some
It's like-
places in the world.
I couldn't fucking imagine eating that, even if it was cooked. Just a whole fucking bird fetus with bones and crunchy. No.
A friend of mine got
You
that
don't-
served
you don't-
once.
You associate crunchy with potato chips, with something that has been fried crunchy in the pan, and the meat has become crunchy out of caramelization. The outside of the meat, or something along those lines, but not bones crunchy or beak crunchy. No, that's a no for me. And if you add the literal force feeding and drowning of the bird in the end, that's just no. But you could draw similarities to how normal chickens or all livestock is being. It's basically being held in captivity and fed to become fat, and then we slaughter it to make food out of it.
So you're kinda
So the
ruining
only
you-
difference is that we're slaughtering it in a humane way. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
you're ruining
so
your
yeah.
own argument here.
Yeah, I know. So I still eat chicken, the hypocrite that I am,
Yeah,
but I
not
wouldn't
with
eat this
bones
shit.
And beaks and
Not
feet
with
and-
bones. No, that's also a significant difference. But yeah, I realize the can you say
Hypocrisy.
the hypocrisy? Yeah.
Mhm.
So yeah.
Well, you're just a pussy. Just eat the chicken. Eat the chicken raw.
No.
Did you do that with other things though? Mice, for instance?
Mice? No.
And just
No, fuck
force
no.
feed them for a week, and then you just drown them in bourbon, and you fry them on
Big
the pan,
rat!
and you just like throw it in there.
Yeah, holy shit. That just reminds me, I saw a weird video while also scrolling through Reddit. And it was something called r/weird ass fucking food or something. And it was a compilation of just people butchering, not actual butchering, literal butchering, but like making food out of things that shouldn't be food. Like they took a dead rat, put it in a burrito, and cooked it on a frying pan. Like whole, just a rat with hairs, legs, and everything. And they just cooked it in a frying pan in a burrito, and they had some sauce on it, and they fucking ate it.
Fry that.
What
That's
the
wrong. You need to deep fry that shit.
Yeah.
At the very
fucking
least.
no. Because at that point, I was like, holy I'm not watching more of this shit. The internet has gone too far. No, people have gone too far. Fucking hell.
I imagine you getting very sick if you eat a rodent, don't you? A critter. Unless it's squirrel.
No. Depends on
I
how
have
you.
no idea.
how you prepare it, perhaps.
I don't know.
Well, just the taste aside, if you cook a whole, let's say a rat, and you didn't like fillet it, you didn't like take out its organs and cook only the meat, you just took a dead rat whole and cooked it on a frying pan. The problem I see with that is you couldn't get unless you cook it for an adequate amount of time, you can't be sure that all of the intestines and all of the internal bacteria has died completely. And then you could get basically food poisoning from uncooked intestines, uncooked bacterial innards of the rat, of any small animal, not just rats.
But I saw in the future they want us to eat more insects. Have you seen
Yeah.
this on TV and
and-
everything? I saw it. It was some news people were interviewing some people here in Norway that made they kind of made grains for bakery out of dried worms. They had these dried worms that were cooked in the oven, and when they were cooked and stiff and everything, they grinded them up into dust, and you could use it to bake pastries with. It's the future.
Noise.
I guess they
It's a green future where we don't have
I-
to use tractors and everything, but someone has to collect all those fucking worms from the ground. So
in terms of biomass, if you like classify how much biomass there is out of a certain class of animals on Earth, like the insects outweigh all other animals, including us, by many times. There are way
Mhm.
more insect biomass than anything on this.
and you can probably
planet.
easily grow them in the labs or whatever. Like
Yes,
insect
because
farms,
insects
basically, because it goes so
insects
fast.
grow real fast because they have a short lifespan in general.
Hmm.
So they grow really fast, and the efficiency of the calories you put into worms that grow into insect is like much greater than the calories you put into a
Oh.
calf.
Would you eat something like that though?
But no,
No.
I would not eat insects. That's the fucking irony.
When it's,
It's,
when it's the last option on Earth, then probably. But as long as we have real food and bacon, I will eat that.
Because
Nothing
I think as long as we have options and it's not ingrained in our culture, we will just, mainly because it's not in our culture to eat insects, we just won't do it. But
w- could vegans eat insects, you think? Or is that
that's a fucking gray zone. But I know in countries in Asia, like in Vietnam, for example, they serve fried grasshopper, or in
Yeah.
Thailand, or so
Mhm.
and grasshoppers are like bigger, very large insects compared to a lot like larvae or something.
Hmm.
So the and grasshoppers can be a fucking problem, like if they get like these mega swarms.
Yeah, so let's show
Which-
them. We eat them.
So let's
to
show
see-
them.
Yeah!
We eat them. We eat you all.
They eat
No.
our crops. We eat you.
Funny thing though, you did the challenge on our Norwegian podcast, the spicy bear, the what's it called?
Lil
again?
Nitro.
Lil Nitro challenge. Yeah, you
Yes,
did that.
yes.
And I follow a TikToker who does food challenges among other things, and he had ordered a dried tarantula or something he was supposed to eat.
No.
So yeah, you can eat spiders as well, apparently. And he said the dried
No,
tarantula
fucking
was it was different because it still had all the hairs on the body.
Oh,
Mm.
fucking hell,
So
mate.
he was eating the dried tarantula with the hairs on it and everything, and it kind of just became almost dusted off in his mouth, and then it became like a mush of some sort when it mixed with the saliva in his mouth, and then the taste came out afterwards. And he really
And,
didn't like
uh,
that.
And this dried tarantula, it wasn't prepared in any other way.
No,
It
this was
wasn't like,
this was like a challenge though. So you got this one challenge, this one tarantula in a pack,
oh,
like the one chip challenge, just with a dried
like an
tarantula.
actual eat this food challenge.
Yeah, basically.
The fuck?
Fucking hell, mate.
So you can literally just wrap up anything that shouldn't be
Eaten.
consumed and just say it's a food challenge.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
pack it
food.
and sell it.
So yeah, again, mice. It's a challenge.
It's a challenge.
Is this a business idea?
No. Fuck off.
Someone is doing these ideas, yeah. Spiders and whatnot.
Fucking hell, mate. Don't you have anything else to talk about?
Yeah,
This
yeah.
has devolved into just gross. Well, no, not entirely gross because
Kinda gross, but
insects as a food source has been on the table for many years.
but we're
No,
moving.
it's not gross, but kinda gross. It's super gross.
It's not
It's
only gross,
nasty,
but
Björn.
it's
nasty,
relevant.
Fucking nasty.
Sorry, but it's relevant. The insect food source thing is relevant.
Not
So-
for me, it ain't.
Nah,
Anyways,
me
let's
neither.
let's move on. Because yesterday or half a week ago, by the time this podcast released, or almost a week ago, Junior and I were supposed to play Baldur's Gate 3 together, and they hit us with a massive update. Basically, the moment we were supposed to play.
Oh no.
So Junior, we were updating. You were a bit ahead of me, and then you logged off your computer. I noticed. What happened?
Yeah, I was just updating my PC as or not my PC, my Baldur's Gate as you
It
do,
was
right?
Downloading the update or
Yeah,
yeah.
super easy and easy, and then I just what do you do when you update a game?
Stall for time. You watch random YouTube videos or go.
Yes.
Yeah. You wait basically.
You wait, you
You
masturbate
wait.
and enjoy yourself. Wait, wait.
You masturbate. You
Yeah.
wait. You masturbate.
Do all that good old shit while you wait on this update, right?
Yeah.
And then I noticed my PC was getting slow. And I was like, what the fuck is now? Because normally this isn't a problem. My PC is never slow. It's a good PC.
hmm
But it was getting slow and unbearable, right? So I was like, why not just turn it on and off? I turned it off, I turned it on. And when I turned it on, I would hit with the not the BIOS, but a warning message
Oh.
during the startup saying my CPU is hot. I was like,
Oh no. Dun
This-
dun dun.
this cannot be right. Something has to be wrong. And then I look further into it, and lo and behold, my CPU is hot, super hot.
Even
That i-
during startup.
Yeah, during startup, during everything. And we are PC gamers. We always know this is something that's bound to happen, right?
Not bound to happen, but there's a certain risk that something fails and then something overheats.
Yeah, but what kind of CPU coolers do you guys have?
I have a standard Noctua air cooler. It's
Air
just a
cooler.
big chunk of metal with a fan on it.
That's
That's
not
what
bound
I'm
to.
using.
Thomas, what do you have?
The same, but I don't remember what.
Do
What
you
brand?
guys?
What company or fans it's on, but it's this metal chunk with two fans on it, and they holds down to the CPU. Yeah,
Hose down.
yeah, not
Hose.
hose down, but yeah, you know.
Mm. Because you
Okay.
don't have a chunk of metal then. You have a chunk of metal with water in it.
Yeah, with a
Yeah,
pump.
yeah,
Yeah.
It's iron
You
pump.
have what we call a water cooler, which has the same principle as a car radiator, for example. There's a
Mm.
water pump and there's water that takes heat away from the heat source, puts it into the radiator, and there's airflow through the radiator, which takes the heat away.
Yeah.
So it's
Perhaps.
But-
You told me to buy it. I just bought it. So.
Yeah, but don't
I
do
had
that.
it since
Don't-
2014 though.
Don't do that.
don't do that. Don't do what? Don't buy a CPU cooler. What do you mean?
Don't buy a water air CPU cooler. Buy the big chunk. Buy the big chunk. The chunky
the big
boy.
chunk of metal.
Yeah,
Why?
because I have currently in my lifespan, I have two CPU coolers fail on me. This is my second, right?
Mhm.
And
Which
this
types?
water with the pump.
Radiator,
Mhm.
basically.
Yeah. And they say they last about 5 to 7 years because you got something called evaporation, right? Because
Why
You
not last
can't-
for 9 years?
yeah, it's getting old because liquid evaporate through the pipes. You lose mass every year of this coolant.
Yeah, slowly the coolant finds microparticles, finds its way through the tubing,
Yes.
and just slowly but surely you get less fluid inside the system.
To a certain point where there's not enough fluid, right?
Mhm.
That is what kills the CPU coolers. Not the pump itself getting broken, but because, lo and behold, no one is going to bother to wrench on it, right?
Because
Unless-
they're usually sold as the market phrase all-in-one coolers, AIOs. They're sealed units that the end consumer doesn't do anything with. It's filled and sealed at the factory, and it's sold as a complete sealed unit to the customer.
Yes. But this is my profession. This is what I do. I am the coolant guy. I could not simply sit there and be like, it's broken, cannot do shit.
I like where this is going.
Because I heard when I fired up the pump, right? You can hear the water going some lulu, right?
Circulating through the pump, you can hear
Yeah.
some gurgling.
I can hear the gurgling, and that is not a sign of a bad pump.
That's
I
the
know.
sign of
Too little flow, too little fluid. So I picked apart this fucking shit, and I filled it with water. I got it. I got my pipes because you can disassemble everything and get to a certain point. I got to inside of this shit. You have to wrench everything out of it from the CPU cooler, and
Mhm.
then there's just a little bolt with an O-ring that is a sealant.
Okay.
So
Inside of the what you call it, the pump unit.
yeah, the pump unit.
Yeah.
But I was fairly certain that this I'm never going to fix this. So I just unplugged everything, and there's a lot of wiring, not wiring, but circuit boards. There are 2 circuit boards.
Mm-hmm.
One for all the lights and shit, and one for the pump. I didn't care. I found the screw, and I filled everything with water. And I just filled everything with water and just hoped the water would go down into the radiator, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I plugged it in, and then I brushed off the water and just blew it off.
Mm-hmm.
Connected everything back in, chucked it in my PC. Everything works.
And then Junior was ready to game, and I was in another game with another friend.
Yeah, but
Because I didn't think he would fix this. I was like, what can you do? And he was like, nothing. No one had any spare parts for me. And I was
Yeah,
like,
he-
okay. Well,
That guy even called me. He
I
was
know.
like, "Hey,
Yeah.
He
you
said-
got a spare CPU cooler?"
yeah, because this is not an optimal solution, right? Because
No.
I am currently running at like 50 degrees on my CPU, and this is semi-idle. I tried it in Prime, right? Prime 95, and I got like 70 to 80 degrees.
That's
not
only 9 degrees
immediately-
away from your warning sign last night.
Yeah, but he
Mhm.
was at constant, almost boiling
Yeah.
when he was
Yeah.
idling. So
Yeah,
there's a
yeah.
huge difference. But still, this isn't optimal. It's water, which
Yeah, it's well. If I had done this one more time, because I know where we're going, I would use alcohol and I would use a syringe to try to pressure the alcohol in.
alcohol.
Right?
Why
Yeah, alcohol. Because water boils and water freeze.
Doesn't
what-
alcohol boil as well?
Yeah, but not as good. And
At a higher degree, perhaps.
no, not really. But if my jerry rig of a PC, it's the sealant go loose or anything, I get water in my PC.
Mm. Yeah.
So,
But your PC loves
yeah.
alcohol way more than water, so that would make all
Yeah,
Was that,
yeah.
was that the concern, or is alcohol better if it leaks?
yeah, alcohol is better if it leaks. Because
I guess yeah.
alcohol doesn't short circuit.
Unless it's like 40% alcohol, and then
Yeah,
the rest is water.
Yeah,
So-
yeah. Use the strong shit.
69.
Yeah.
No, 96, I mean 96.
69%.
I was thinking of something else. Sorry.
Obviously. What do you call that? A Freudian slip. Anyways, but I imagine this solution of yours is at best temporary.
Yeah,
So-
of course.
So you have ordered a new one?
yeah, I've ordered a new one because that was the first thing I did. I just straight up ordered a new one. I saw it was a new one nearby from Shark Gaming. Yeah, I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm not going to drive 1 hour to get this.
From Shark Gaming? Is that local 1 hour nearby? What's
Yeah, it's a local one, not so 2 hours trip from and to, and the part was Shark Gaming, like the CPU
Oh, no.
cooler
so
was Shark Gaming.
ah.
Someone
So
was
you didn't buy that. Well, may
No.
I ask what you, because you've already ordered a new cooler
Yeah, I
on
just
a
ordered.
web shop.
Yeah.
Yeah. May I ask what you ultimately ordered this time around?
Water cooled, but this is the last time I'm doing it.
Well,
Don't buy the water cooler!
Yeah.
What did you
yeah,
buy?
because-
A water cooler?
yeah, because this was before I started wrenching.
Yeah,
Ah,
you did it straight off the
wrenching,
bat,
this
and
is-
then you started fixing
Yeah.
your old one, yeah.
Yeah, I
Ah.
I just saw high CPU temperature. It's certainly the pump. It's always a pump. Just buy something new. And then I buy something new, and then I start sitting around and like, fuck, I cannot just sit here. I need a wrench. And then I wrench, a Cooler Master, something liquid
Yeah,
cool shit.
It's that's a known brand, and I guess they're decent. They're not the best. They're not the worst. They're like
Yeah,
just decent.
They're
enough.
mid tier.
Yeah.
yeah. I'm not going for high end because
It just needs to function.
yeah, it just needs to function.
Yeah.
Oh, I should.
But yeah.
Wait, mine is a Corsair, I think. Corsair.
Yeah, that is mine as well. So
But I have had
But-
mine for 9 years, so what I'm hearing is that over Christmas I should probably upgrade or change out my cooling system.
And
yeah.
maybe you would want to go simpler, so there's less chance of failure.
Maybe
Yeah,
I'll
But
put you.
if you
Maybe I'll put you on the task, Björn.
maybe because I used to have super complicated computers with custom water loops and everything, but changing stuff in those rigs was like such a fucking hassle. So over the years I've gradually started not
Going simpler.
downgrading my yeah, but going simpler with my builds. It's super simple now. I have an air cooler. It's a chunk of metal and a fan on it. And
But
if
it's
you open
a lot
if
better
you-
than the stock cooler, I suspect.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's a
If-
Noctua D15, so it's the one of the biggest air coolers you can
what's,
get.
What's
Yeah.
the pricing of that?
60 euros, 70 euros.
That's
Yeah,
not
it's not
really bad.
No, no, because but do you need to order the fans separate?
No,
But
no,
they-
no.
The fans
What?
are on when you
The-
buy those. Yeah,
That's a steal.
because I would need
let
something.
let me stand corrected. Noctua NH D15 costs at the most popular web shop in Norway. It costs 140 euros.
That's a bit. That's twice as much as you said.
Yeah. I just had. I don't know. Maybe I thought it was cheaper. But mind you, it's been years since I bought this thing. I have no idea how long it's been. And it's as long as the fans are running, I imagine it will work perfectly fine.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
when
but
the
I have
fans
aesthetics
fail,
to think about now, because I have a huge ass window at the side of my computer, and everything
Oh, fuck-
inside
Fuck
lights
that
up
shit.
and looks really nice, and all the wiring and everything is I put work into this when I bought this case. So now I would need a cooler though with some lights, and it would have to fit in with the rest of the stuff. I would have that to consider as well. But if I could find something for 60 to 90 bucks, would be a decent mid cooling system, perhaps.
But
If-
mind you, the most standard air coolers are way cheaper than this one, because this is literally one of the largest air coolers on the market and one of the most expensive air coolers on the market.
Yeah.
And you could get by with something that costs 40 or 50 euros and be perfectly fine.
If you look,
so if I go about,
If you look at the podcast general, there's a picture of my
Podcast
PC.
yeah, that's very general because it only applies to the.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's my wrench.
Maybe Thomas will post it in social medias or something.
I'll save the image now. Speaking of, I still lack one picture from you, Junior, to get shit done at our OnlyFans, because people are asking me, "How's the OnlyFans
What?
going?" And I'm
Are
like,
people
I
actually-
wouldn't know yet because I still lack some shit.
Are people actually-
I'm starting to get curious as well, because now
Okay,
I'm
you-
committed as well. Yeah.
After
Yeah,
this
oops.
one.
That was
Oops.
really big.
Now the overlay for all of our listeners, Thomas is trying to show this picture of Junior's computer on screen.
I will still post it in social medias, but I thought it's a quick one and done to just show it on screen here. There we go. This is
Yeah, so
Junior's
it's-
build as of last night. Kinda.
the radiator and fans are literally hanging outside. You're
Yeah.
just hanging around.
Yeah, because now I only need to take out 4 screws, and my cooler is out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And it is going out. I just need my new one.
Yeah, but that's a quick fix when you get the new one, though.
Yeah, it's a quick guess.
Do you imagine you could gamble? You could. I realize you already ordered a new one, but would you have gambled on draining that your existing CPU cooler, the one that has low coolant, and just refilling new coolant? Would you do a gamble on such a thing? Because
I would-
if the case is that it slowly just micro evaporates over several years, you could just refill it with coolant, and it could maybe last for several years more if the pump doesn't fail. Because that is
But that's another
just
if.
another mechanical part that also could fail, even though you have a decent amount of coolant.
If
Would you gamble on something like that, knowing because you have experience with this shit?
If I could use something that's the manufacturer had used as coolant, right? Because the sealants are prone to leak if you use something that's not meant to be.
Yeah,
And
if
what-
you use a different coolant that is more
Corrosive
not fit for those sealants or something. It's not compatible for some reason.
Yeah. Then
Mm.
I wouldn't. But if you could figure out what the company use, sure. It's a hell of a lot of work, and don't use water because water grows.
Yeah, you are prone to have bacterial growth if you just
Mm.
use water,
But Junior is
and
So-
water
only
does
about to
boil.
use it like a week's time, and then it's changing it.
Yeah, so water is really not use don't use water. Water sucks.
Mm.
I actually recall rescuing one of my friends because his car overheated and he was on his way home. So I had to like fill up a few bottles of water and drive over to him on the road and just fill his radiator with water. It was many
Yeah.
years ago now, but it was his. It was an old BMW which just overheated because it was out of coolant. He had a coolant leak somewhere, and he just needed water to get home. So, yeah. So, and that in that case, we used water, and it worked until he got home. So, which I imagine this is the case for you now.
Well, so
It's just like
Yeah.
if you want to be on the safe side, just buy the one Björn has, or like those types. And if something fails, it will be one or both of the fans, or how many fans there is. And you can clearly see it when you open your computer. The fan is not running, and you can just change the fan.
Yeah.
it's a much simpler, just ease of use. It's less prone to fail because there's
That would be
less
good for
things
me
that
because
can
I
fail.
have like a ton of fans laying around, so I can just change it with what
Yeah.
I already have.
Yeah, that was my.
I will use them in another build soon, but not for my computer.
That was my thought as well, because
Yes.
we all have a lot of PC parts, and fan is the most accessible.
Yes, I
Yeah.
think I have a few fans just laying around, never used. Just
I
in
know
boxes.
Junior has fans laying around because I've seen them at the Penthouse Bar, for instance. They have a box with fans laying on the floor.
Okay, he does.
Yeah, he does.
I got all my fans
He has his fans.
All your fans
All his
are at
fans
the Penthouse Bar.
locked up in a box. Yar, yar.
And with that, I would like to say thank you for listening to this podcast. And please follow us for the next episode. And there's a bunch of links at the one link. There's one link underneath which take you to all the links to the social medias, to the support us page. And if you like what we do, please do support us, because over New Year's we have to pay the new subscription fee to keep the podcast going. So all help will help, I suppose.
All donations
All
will
donations
help.
will help, yeah. That
All
sounds
help.
better, Björn. Thank you.
All help will be appreciated.
That
Yes,
it will.
very-
And we'll
very
keep
much.
delivering bangers like this one. And many more things. So, yeah. See you in a week. Goodbye.
Adios.
Bye.